Hey, this is not a video that I ever wanted to have to make, but I've decided to take a break from streaming for a while. I'm posting this here because, well, this channel is mostly stream VODs, so it's going to be impacted the most by this decision. I'll talk more about why I'm deciding to do this and about how long I think I will be gone in just a minute, but I just wanted to say that ever since I started streaming back in 2021, I have never taken a break longer than about 2 weeks, and that was to go to Italy for my honeymoon. So a fun reason. And basically anytime I've ever taken extended time off stream was for a vacation, a sickness, or some other happening in my life that more or less outright prevented me from streaming. And as soon as I could reasonably stream again, I did. I've rarely, if ever, taken time off just to focus on me and my mental health and my life outside this little box that you usually see me in. That's my own choice, though. Nobody forced me to stream a few times a week for 4 years straight, more or less. I did it just because I wanted to, or I felt like I wanted to. From when I started streaming in March of 2021 to about April of 2022, I did all of this while also working a full-time 9-to-5 job. A lot of people will know I left that job in 2022 for reasons not related to any of this, but because I just didn't like the direction my job and my industry was headed, and I decided to take the plunge and work for myself and do some freelance work instead. Of course, leaving the 9-to-5 job left me with more time and more flexibility to stream and make YouTube content as well. And very specifically, the main channel really took off during this time, and the rest is kind of history. I've done some freelance jobs intermittently since then, of course, but as I now make real money off of doing YouTube and streaming, I have been able to at least contribute more time to it. And I do consider it to be at least part of my job. Streaming in particular is still a small element of what I do income-wise, but it's also, at its best, fun, and I can play and check out new games and share those experiences with other people, which can turn into YouTube content later. And I get like a pulse on my community, what games they're playing and what they want me to check out, and so on and so forth. All to say, streaming, while it brings in comparatively little income, is something I felt like I could do consistently that is both fun and feels like it adds intangible value to my online existence. So why take a break? Lately, I haven't felt super great about streaming for a few reasons. The biggest one is just that I am juggling too much stuff right now. And streaming is just unfortunately the easiest thing to cut out of everything I do. And by cutting it, I get the most time back in my life to do other things. The elephant in the room is that, as I've talked about here a bit recently, my wife is dealing with a rare skin cancer diagnosis at the moment. Now, luckily, she dodged a major bullet. It's still only in her skin and hasn't spread at all, and her prognosis is really good. Basically, she'll just have surgery to remove the affected area of skin, and then they will just monitor her to make sure they got it all. But nonetheless, it has been a really stressful time for both of us since she got that news, especially before we knew if she's going to be okay or what kind of treatment she'd need. Now, she works a full-time 9-to-5 job during the day, and I stream at night, so our schedules don't overlap as much as we'd like. And I'd really just like to spend more time with her while this is going on. She has her surgery scheduled in July, and then hopefully our lives will go back to some semblance of normal. But all to say, this has been something ongoing that has impeded my ability to stream regularly and make content already, and it would continue to do so well into the next month or two regardless. This cancer ordeal has put a bit of a strain on us financially as well. I don't really like to discuss my financial situation in much detail since it just feels kind of tacky. And independent of what's going on right now, I am overall really fortunate in life, and complaining about my situation just feels lame when so many people are way worse off than me. But simply put, we live in America where healthcare is expensive. We got pretty lucky that her cancer treatment is not too intensive and is mostly covered by our insurance, but not all of it. And we're still eating a good chunk of the bills straight out of our savings, which is, well, it's a big unexpected expense. And coming from the money that we worked hard to save that has enabled me to have a fairly non-traditional career in the first place. So safe to say this year has been a big shakeup in where we're at financially. And while we're not missing rent payments or bills or anything, this has no less been a major setback and an eye-opener for us in terms of the things we'd like to do in the future, like own a house and have kids and so on. Streaming, in this regard, while it's hard to put an exact value on how much it contributes to the success of all of my channels, since stream content does very often go on to become YouTube content in one form or another, it is, on its own, the thing that I make by far the least money on. And especially in proportion to how much time and effort I put towards it, since I'm basically relying on paid subs to fund the stream, and honestly, I just feel weird asking people to sub on Twitch, especially when half of that money goes to Amazon anyways. Streaming is, as well, taking time away from me working on my other channels that do earn me much better and more reliable money usually, and spending more time on my professional endeavors and freelance work that are probably more important for me to put an increased focus on right now or than ever. I love making videos and talking about and sharing games with people, and I will probably never stop doing that altogether. But having a bit of a difficult few months has reminded me just how fleeting this kind of career can be, and that I never want to have all my eggs in one basket either. While I'm super grateful to have any audience at all watching the stream, the VODs, and just any of my channels in general, I'm not quite sure what has happened, but this year has marked a pretty big step back in my earnings across the board from last year. On the YouTube side of things, it was probably unrealistic to expect old Ultra Kill videos, and especially last year's super successful Elden Ring video, to keep paying me dividends forever, but it is what it is. The stream audience as well has not only not grown in the past 2 years, but it has maybe even shrunk. It's hard to say for sure because the best times for stream viewership have always just coincided with Ultra Kill updates, which is a bit disappointing, but it's just a reality that I'm living with. With that said, it does feel like fewer new people come in and even fewer of those people stick around, which at some point, all I can do is just wonder if there's something I can be doing better to build an audience that is actually excited about the streams and not just popping by to say, hey, I love your Ultra Kill content, and then just leaving and never coming back, which is all too common these days. Lastly, and due to many of these other reasons, I have just not been having as much fun with it as I used to. I used to be excited about new ideas I had or new games I was going to play on stream, but lately I've just been having way more fun playing games off stream. My favorite games of the year have been Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and Expedition 33, both of which I have played entirely off stream with no intention of making content out of them. There have been fun things to come out of the stream this year as well, like my Modern Doom playthroughs leading up to and including Dark Ages, which were a ton of fun. But once that was over, I didn't feel like I had much left that I was excited about streaming, at least for a while. So yeah, at the end of it all, I think I just need to take a step back and look at how I can improve my stream, both for myself and for my audience. If I'm not having that much fun, that is, of course, going to affect the viewing experience as well. I wouldn't want to watch a streamer who was visibly not enjoying themselves either, if I'm being honest. Now, what will I do in the meantime? As far as what I plan to do instead, outside of more non-content freelance work that I don't really need to talk about here, I really just want to put my head down and work on my other channels. I have lots of videos that I have planned for the main channel, but that have just been kind of sitting dormant because of how scattered my attention has been this past month. And I'd really like to use some of this time I'll be freeing up to get back on top of the content that I want to make there, and really set that channel up for more consistent success in the future. I also started making smaller edits for my Clips channel again, which are a lot of fun and kind of remind me of my earliest days of doing YouTube. Now, unfortunately, this channel got quietly demonetized by YouTube a while back because I just didn't post often enough, I guess. Apparently that's a thing that can happen. It's not like I was making a lot of money off it anyways, but I have bigger plans in the long term for this channel, so priority number one is getting it remonetized. So check that channel out if that interests you at all. As for this channel, I don't really know. When I've taken planned breaks in the past for vacations and stuff, I've tried to tee up some content to go out while I was away, but that is also reliant on me, actually streaming. So since I'm taking an indefinite break from that, I will also be running out of new stream content to post here. I may record some stuff offline, as I've done also in the past, and I also may have some really old VODs to repost that never properly got posted before. So let me know if there's something specific you want to see. Otherwise, I will just try and come up with some stuff to occasionally toss out there so this channel doesn't go completely cold. Lastly, I have for a long time wanted to retool my stream setup a little bit. I've been rolling with the same graphics and overlays since basically around when I started in 2021. I made all of these myself and I'm proud of them and I think they look good, but there is also improvements that I want to make that I just haven't had the time to, and it's hard to make changes on the fly when I'm streaming every couple days, so maybe I'll take some time to do that as well. Finally, the question that everyone probably has is, how long will this break be? I'm calling it indefinite for now, but I can't imagine being gone for more than a month or two. I think what I need most is just a mental reset. Just to get past my wife's cancer surgeries in early July, which I would likely be taking that whole week off for anyways. So I will say minimum a month or so, at which point I will reevaluate and just see how I feel. If you want to keep up, follow me on Twitter if you still have it. I don't blame anyone who got off that shit, but it's really the only social media I post any updates to regularly, as much as I do dislike it. There isn't really another place that fills that role for me. I'm on Blue Sky too, I guess, if that suits you better. I kind of stopped using it because it doesn't really seem like it caught on with the groups that I run in. But I'll try and keep that updated too, at least with important updates. You can also join my Discord, which is where I'll probably be the most active during this time, talking with the community and updating on what I'm doing during my break. All of those links will be below. Of course, things may come up, like if that Ultra Kill update hits during my break, I will obviously play that. But yeah, otherwise, this is going to be like a break. I think I need to do this for myself and for the health and future of my channel's stream and all of that. If you are a regular stream or VOD watcher, I'm sorry. And I hope I'll still see you on the other side, which, yes, there will be an other side. I'm quite confident about that, at least, regardless of what it may look like. Oh, and I mentioned I would like to do a charity stream benefiting skin cancer research of some sort. That is absolutely still a big priority, but just for after all of this is done. This is not me pulling the plug on that at all. It's definitely going to happen. Now, if you're a Twitch sub, especially a long-term sub, I do appreciate the support. Since I'm going to be gone for likely longer than a month, I will not be offended if you cancel your sub. Your sub will still get you a unique role and benefits in the Discord if that's something you're interested in. And otherwise, I'm going to open a Ko-fi, I don't know how you say that. It's sort of like a Patreon, but just a lot more informal. Basically, this is just a place that you can throw a few bucks at me if you want to support my channel without it being superficially attached to Twitch. You don't have to, of course, but if you feel like you've gotten something out of this channel or one of my other channels or my stream and you want to help me bridge this kind of awkward gap I'm in at the moment, it would be greatly appreciated. I'll give all the same Discord benefits to people who contribute here as well. And if enough people join up over there, I might even be able to do some sporadic, unique content over there too. And that's it. It's honestly kind of nerve-wracking to take an indefinite break since streaming has been such a big part of my life for like 4 years, but I really think this is for the best. Keep an eye out on my other channels, and hopefully when this weird and crazy period of my life is over, I can get back to streaming with a clear head and hopefully move forward from there. Thanks, and take care of yourselves. I'll see you on the other side.